Hi, this is Kim McGinnis, and I'm here in the heart of Boulder, Colorado at a restaurant called the Zolo Grill. We're here real early, so the guys are in the back prepping if you hear a little background noise. But we came down here today to talk to a very talented artist. His name is Kevan Krasnoff, and he's here with me right now. Thank you, Kevin, for letting us come into, well, this is not your restaurant, but you have a lot of your work displayed here, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Great. So
thank you.
So we wanted to come here to see Kevin's work and just to find out a little bit about you to get started. Could you tell us how you got started as an artist?
Circuitous and through a back door, really. I was looking for something to do. And I just started taking art classes via a friend's suggestion, and one thing led to another. And you know, you kind of get on a treadmill of the institutional program of following through. So that's kind of it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there was no grandiose plan or desire or vision that this is what I wanted to be. It just kind of literally took over, and I became part of this path.
Right.
And 35 years later, I'm still doing it. Mm-hmm.
And so you paint, and you're also a sculptor. You work with metal.
I work with steel and clay, but primarily I've been a painter for the entire time that I've been working with art, and that's kind of been the vehicle that's allowed me to explore other mediums.
Yeah. And one of the reasons we wanted to come here today was to see a particular piece you did for this restaurant, a big one. And this has got a buffalo theme to it, I understand?
This has a buffalo theme, and it's I had an experience with some buffalo a couple years ago in South Dakota, and that kind of sat and hibernated for a while, and then it just kind of exploded into my visual exercise of developing the theme. Mm-hmm. And this painting was started outside during an electrical storm in Boulder this summer, and it was right over the neighborhood, and I was working this piece outside, and yeah, it was a dynamic beginning, and you know, I don't know if the piece is actually finished, because I don't know if they're ever actually finished. They just kind of morph, and the process kind of indicates at some point to let it rest or hibernate.
Right.
But having this restaurant as a place to install a large painting gives me the opportunity to work that scale. So it was fun, you know, I was outside, the electricity's happening, and the new theme is kind of percolating and showing itself, so
yeah.
it's a fun process.
And then over here we have the aspen.
That's another whole developed theme, and that is kind of an aspen interpretation. There is actually a buffalo hidden in that piece, but it's very secondary to the first image. Okay, so you know, I mentioned earlier that all these paintings are processes of layers and kind of a evolution of different themes, etc. So this painting I've been working on for probably, I don't know, years basically, and it just kind of is this piece that I've been that I don't know where it's going actually, but I'll figure it out. It'll figure itself out in time. There's kind of a freedom to that kind of painting, and there are times where I'm actually a little more concerned about a final outcome, but then a lot of the times it's just it's an investigation, and it's a willingness to participate with the painting and not be overly concerned about some expectation of what it is going to look like. Over the years, that, you know, one could say there's a lot of wasted time in that, in paint and resources, but that's just a perspective, I suppose. But the layering is so complicated on a piece like this because it has so many years, and as the acrylic dries and sets up, it becomes fixed and it's secured to the surface. Whereas when I take a piece that doesn't have full drying time, I'll wash it off in this basin. And this is now taking away any paint that hasn't dried and been fixed. And this basin is just a fun space to work out of because you can see it's what it's designed for.
So besides being an accomplished painter, you're also an incredible ceramics artist.
Ceramic is kind of new. I did some clay work in Fort Collins 30 years ago, and then I never touched clay. And in those years, I pursued painting and steel and stone, and became an avid boat person in the Western Canyons, where geology is huge. And I boat with geologists, and I studied geology. And then all of a sudden, I'm working with clay, and it was like this huge full circle. And I didn't know this was going to happen. It's like the magic of life and being on your path. Right. And all of a sudden, I've got opportunity to work with clay, and I realized that it encompassed all my mediums and my outward pursuits also in recreation and the environment. And hand building with the clay is gardening, it's painting, it's sculpture, and I love it. It's just, you know, to me, it's so satisfying because it has a little bit of all these other expressions in it. Mm-hmm. And you don't know what's going to happen either.
Great. So I see a lot of your ceramic work up over here. Like this triangular one, for instance, with the bright red in the middle. Mm-hmm. Could you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, the red itself is kind of a gift from, you know, who knows where. But I had been given a chunk of this crazy, thick, dense red glass, and it sat out in my garden for about 5 years. And when I started doing ceramic, I started fusing the glass in there, and then one day I'm looking at this red glass going, that's red glass, so I'm going to bust it up and use it. And the result of that specific red was just super complementary to the black and white theme. There's kind of two themes I'm pursuing with the ceramic. I mean, they're all either platter or bowl, and they are totally functional. Not for necessarily guacamole or salad, but they hold bananas really good and fruit, and you know, so they have a function. But I'm pursuing more of a sculptural art piece than just function. It's kind of that funny thing that ceramic does. Mm-hmm. The red, black, and white, and then there's the blue and green. So there's two different palettes that I'm kind of working with. One is more of a Japanese and there's some influence there, and then the green blues are based on more of a Pacific, Hawaii palette that has more of that environmental colors. But again, like the paintings, there's so much randomness that can occur, and that accident in the kiln firing, I thrive in the accident. I thrive in the unknown thing happening that really supports the intention.
Well, thank you, Kevin, for letting us in here and exploring the little outdoor sculpture garden and inside your studio, from your ceramics to your painting to your little metal paperweights to the bigger metal sculptures. I mean, you're very talented and versatile artist. So
thanks, Kim. I'm glad you appreciate it.
I really appreciate it.